For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian, and this is the weekly news recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonmemorials.com, memorials that matter. A Dent man has been charged with causing the death of a woman by not getting her medical assistance directly after a severe car crash. 33-year-old Alan Michael Alberts has been charged with second-degree manslaughter and violating a no-contact order. Prosecutors say that around 5:45 Saturday morning, Ottertail County deputies received a report of a deceased female at Perham Hospital, later identified as 40-year-old Nicole Schultz of Dent. When deputies arrived at the hospital, they learned that Alberts and his mother, 50-year-old Pamela Jean Breckenridge, had driven Schultz to the hospital, and she was pronounced dead shortly after. Deputies spoke with nursing staff who said Schultz was dead when she arrived at the hospital. Deputies also learned that Alberts was Schultz's boyfriend, but there was a no-contact order against him for an incident in March where he strangled her. Deputies say Alberts and Breckenridge originally lied to investigators, but after being confronted with evidence, admitted to lying because of the no-contact order. Court documents say after admitting to lying before, Alberts told investigators that he and Schultz went out with his parents Friday night and had a few drinks. After they decided to leave around 2 o'clock Saturday morning, Alberts said he saw Schultz talking with a couple of other guys, which caused the two to have an argument. Alberts said the argument continued in his truck on the way home, culminating in Schultz punching him and grabbing at the steering wheel. Alberts said he pulled the truck over, got out, and went to the passenger side to address Schultz, but she locked the doors and drove away from him. He saw the truck go over the hill and heard a crash. Court documents say Alberts found Schultz unresponsive in a field, having been ejected from the truck during the crash. Alberts said he brought her back to his home and called his mom for assistance around 3:20. Alberts said he and his mother considered calling 911, but was worried about the no-contact order. While they were discussing what they should do, Alberts said they realized Schultz had stopped breathing. They then loaded her in the car and transported her to Perham Hospital. He performed CPR on her while Breckenridge drove. Schultz's body was taken to the Midwest Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy, where they found that her injuries were consistent with a serious motor vehicle accident. Deputies arrested Alberts late Saturday morning. Breckenridge was taken into custody on Thursday and has been charged with aiding a criminal offender. She made her first court appearance Friday morning. Multiple people were hurt in a two-vehicle crash northeast of Perham Friday morning. The Ottertail County Sheriff's Office says that around 7:30, a Toyota 4Runner driven by 20-year-old Oliver Simonson of Monaga was heading south on County Highway 53. The Toyota failed to stop for the controlled intersection of County Highway 8 and was struck by a GMC Yukon that was heading west on the intersecting roadway. Both vehicles entered the ditch on the southwest side of the intersection, striking a power pole. Simonson was transported to Essentia Health in Fargo by LifeLink Lifelight for treatment of substantial injuries. The driver of the Yukon from Perham and her 3 juvenile passengers were brought to Perham Hospital by private vehicle for minor injuries. The crash is under investigation. A Fergus Falls man has been arrested for threatening a woman with a samurai sword and assaulting a police officer. 24-year-old Alexander James Geller was arrested Thursday after Fergus Falls police were called on a report of threats of violence at an apartment complex on Friary Avenue. Prosecutors say that the property manager was working on cleaning an apartment unit when she heard yelling over the sound of her music. She told police that she looked out the window and saw Geller wielding a samurai sword, yelling profane and threatening comments at her. At one point, he made a gesture towards the victim with the sword. Specifically, he put the sword up to his own throat and made a slow cutting motion toward her. Police reviewed the security footage, which showed Geller in a white mask wielding the sword recklessly in the parking lot, at one point even dropping it. Police say Geller can be seen gesturing at the building the victim was in. He then walked across the lot and spit on the victim's car door. While on the scene, police say Geller approached them. When they told him to stop and that they needed to talk, Geller began to backpedal and attempted to flee. Officers grabbed the defendant, who resisted. After he was escorted to the ground, he continued resisting and kneed an officer in the jaw. After multiple uses of pepper spray and 5 knee strikes, Geller was secured and taken to the Ottertail County Detention Facility. A search warrant was executed on his apartment, where officers found a white mask and a sword with a 27-inch long blade. Geller made his first court appearance this afternoon and has been charged with 2nd and 4th degree assault, as well as obstructing the legal process with force and concealing his identity in a public place. On Wednesday, Pioneer Care and Habitat for Humanity held a groundbreaking ceremony for Pioneer Care's Channing Child Care Village. The project consists of building 3 twin homes that will house a total of 6 childcare pods, creating 60 to 70 new childcare slots for the community. CEO of Pioneer Care, Nathan Johnson.
So friends, we are about 400 childcare spots short in the community of Fergus Falls. And so this project today really marks the beginning of coming together as a community to solve that problem. And we're just so excited about that.
The plan is to construct 1 twin home per year over the next 3 years on Pioneer Care's vacant land on Channing Avenue behind the NF Field and CJB Law Building. Fergus Falls Area Habitat for Humanity Board Chair Dale Hegland said that the whole Habitat team has been enthusiastic about working on such an important project, not only to the community, but as the first daycare built by Habitat for Humanity in the nation.
Today's a good day. We're making history. Together we're better. Let's put God's mission, God's love in action.
Fergus Falls Mayor Anthony Hicks said childcare is a critical part of economic development, one of the key drivers of the current city council.
For many years, there's been a debate about who, what, and how childcare can get done. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I know I've sat in on multiple meetings about childcare, and I think everybody knows the need, but it takes somebody to roll up their sleeves and actually do something about it. And I truly believe that what Nathan and Dean and their leadership have done in moving this project forward from just a concept to a reality has been a great achievement for our community.
The Community Capital Campaign, hosted by the Pioneer Care Foundation, has already raised $1.35 million towards its $1.5 million goal through the generosity of local businesses, foundations, charitable trusts, and other community partners. The I-94 EMR Speedway has a new owner. On Monday, Donald Shaw officially announced on Facebook that after 6 years of ownership, he has sold the racetrack to James Trantina III. In his post, Shaw lists multiple reasons for the sale, including the high levels of stress put on by the negativity on social media and putting a priority on his health. He says the most important piece of the sale is that James shares the same love and passion for racing that he does and has the resources to back his desire to keep racing alive. Shaw is still the co-promoter of the track alongside Deb Engfer and will be at the track every week doing track prep, running the infield crew, and track operations this entire season. The 2026 racing season opens today. Community members who enjoy gardening are encouraged to plant a little extra this season and share the harvest with neighbors in need through the Grow an Extra Row program. The program asks gardeners to add 1 extra row or a few extra plants and donate surplus produce to local food shelves. Fresh fruits and vegetables are among the most needed items, but they are often in short supply. Jason Bergstrand said, quote, "Many gardeners end up with more produce than they can use. By growing just a little extra, people can make a real difference for families in Otter Tail County. It's an easy way to help," end quote. Residents can also take part in a special opportunity this spring. Free tomato and pepper plants, along with seed potatoes, will be available at the Mell Center and Fergus Falls Library during the week of May 11th. When gardens begin to produce, gardeners can donate extra vegetables such as tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, peppers, and beans to a local food shelf. A list of local food shelves can be found on the Lake Region Healthcare website. The Welcome Home event for Chris Tungseth, featuring a parade and concert, has been rescheduled for Saturday, May 16th, following his elimination from American Idol Monday night. Due to him falling short of the top 3 in the competition, American Idol will not be flying him out for the event. However, the city of Fergus Falls is coordinating with Chris's schedule in order to still put on a parade downtown and an outdoor concert at Kirkbride Park. The parade has been scheduled for 2 o'clock in the afternoon, with the concert scheduled for 6. Tune into the American Idol finale Monday night to watch Chris perform on the show one more time and prepare to celebrate his return home. This has been the Weekly News Recap, brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument. Online at foreverstonmemorials.com, memorials that matter. For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian. Tune in at 5 o'clock every Friday afternoon on KBRFradio.com or the Fergus Now app to stay up to date with local news. Find more stories on KBRFradio.com. Sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.